Hello, it's good to have you back on another edition of Culture Mosaic. Now, in this edition, let's go back in time as we listen to the cracky sounds of good old vinyl records and find out how they are attracting Vietnamese listeners these days. We also have a chance to meet with one of Israel's most successful female shops and some of the best European jazz artists. So sit back and enjoy. Vinyl, the melody of time. Israeli chef charms Vietnamese foodies. And later contemporary European and Vietnamese jazz artists share inspiration. Now, tourists coming to Sapa can enjoy the Summer Festival, which kicked off last Saturday night. The event marked the beginning of efforts to mark the National Tourism Year to promote the regional tourism sector and introduce the culture and hospitality of the local people in Lào Cai province. Now, art performances and other festivities took place in a joyful atmosphere, introducing people to the region's unique tourism advantages. A photo exhibition featuring iconic modern architecture from Vietnam and 10 other ASEAN countries officially opened to the public on Saturday afternoon. Now, with 110 photos on display, the exhibition aims to raise awareness about the beauty of several seemingly forgotten architectural styles and the need to preserve existing buildings in Vietnam. The exhibition also kickstarted a series of events called A Month of Architecture, which includes seminars and film screenings about modern architecture. The main theme of this event series refers to the modern architecture movement introduced to Southeast Asia in the colonial period and continued to develop until the 1980s, when many buildings of this architecture style were left unpreserved and forgotten. The exhibition opens until May the 28th. Now let's now start off with some of the most outstanding culture events of the past week. Hầu đồng or trance ritual is a form of spirit mediumship practiced in Đạo Mẫu, a Vietnamese mother goddess religion, in which followers become mediums for various deities. The trance ritual is a combination of music, dance, and colors, and this tradition has now been translated to the stage. So we have more in the following reports.
Giá Chầu Đệ Nhị, the second session of the chants ritual, represents the goddess of the highlands who rules the forests and the mountains. In this session, the practitioner wears a green costume, a special hat, and performs a ritual dance. Previously, this kind of art performance was only shown in sacred places, but now it is performed on stage at the Hanoi Worker Theatre.
Cái điều mà tôi mong muốn là gì? Là để mọi người nhìn thấy những cái gì đẹp nhất, tinh tế nhất, lộng lẫy nhất của cái gọi là đạo mẫu, nghi lễ tứ phủ và cái nghệ thuật chầu văn ở trên sân khấu. Và mong muốn làm một cái điều gì đó để không chỉ người Việt Nam mình với nhau mà khi khách du lịch trên thế giới đến được tiếp cận với những bộ môn văn hóa này thì sẽ thấy yêu hơn cái văn hóa của Việt Nam.
In the space of the trance ritual, the practitioners embody different deities and spirits. The dancing, the costumes, and the music combine to form a lively image of the gods, bringing this traditional performance closer to the public.
Đấy không phải là lịch sử bằng văn bản, đây là lịch sử bằng phong tục và hình ảnh. Người dân có thể thấy Đức Thanh Trần bằng xương bằng thịt hiện ra, có nhiều vị thần là người dân tộc thiểu số. Và khi các vị thần nhập hồn vào ông đồng và đồng thì từ gương mặt, từ phong thái, từ ca nhạc, từ hát, từ tất cả các thứ là theo cái hình mẫu của các người dân tộc thiểu số. Cho nên Liên Đồng thực sự là một cái đa văn hóa. Nó đã tạo ra một cái không khí tâm linh thật là đẹp đẽ, thật là vui vẻ, thật là đa dạng. Với những giá trị như vậy thì xứng đáng là một cái di sản văn hóa phi vật thể của nhân loại.
Nowadays, trance rituals in Vietnam have developed into community. Performances like this are a special occasion for people to observe and appreciate this spiritual tradition.
On the occasion of Haitian Flag Day, the Haitian Embassy in Vietnam held an event called Flavor of Haiti in Hanoi on Friday. Now, the event offered Vietnamese and international participants a chance to explore Haitian cuisine. So let's take a closer look in this event in the following story.
Codfish salad eaten with bread is a popular dish at cocktail parties in Haiti, along with rice with ground beef, dried pineapples, and vegetables. These are just a few of typical Haitian dishes introduced at the Flavor of Haiti event in Vietnam. All the dishes were made by the famous cook Cynthia Werner.
I am so happy that I could find all the ingredients that I need in Vietnam. I only brought some of Haiti's typical spices to create a special taste of Haitian cuisine.
Haiti is well known as an attractive destination for sea tourism in the Caribbean. Besides the diverse cuisine, the country also attracts tourists with its colorful carnival celebrations and vibrant music and arts. The event Flavor of Haiti aims to bring Haitian culture closer to Vietnamese people.
Món ăn là một, âm nhạc là hai, của Haiti là lúc nào cũng là the best. Không chỉ là cái buổi ngày hôm nay mà là mình đã có cơ hội tham dự một vài chương trình nó tương tự như thế này, và khi nào nó cũng không làm mình thất vọng, khi nào cảm thấy rất là vui và đồ ăn thì lúc nào cũng ngon cả.
We celebrate this event in order to give the Vietnamese people an image of Haiti. It is so exciting to see the Vietnamese and international friends enjoying our food and the lively atmosphere filled with Haitian music and dance.
Haiti and Vietnam officially established diplomatic ties in 1997, and the Haitian embassy was opened in Vietnam in 2013. Besides telecommunication and rice exports, Haiti and Vietnam hope to cooperate further in other sectors like agriculture and tourism.
Now, after a decline in popularity in the 1990s, records have experienced a revival and have found new generations of audiophile listeners, another way to enjoy their favorite music. Now, records are enjoyed for that hard-to-define analog warmth, the personality, and addictive collectability. Now, in this week's Culture and Lifestyle, we take a listen to the cracky sound of good old vinyl records and how they are attracting Vietnamese listeners these days.
Io sto bene con te, qui nel letto con me.
These melodious sounds come from a small corner in the house of Trần Thọ Lâm, who has fallen in love with vinyl for more than 60 years now.
Just give me one chance.
Ông cụ là tôi, cụ năm 62, cụ mang ở Liên Xô về cái đài ấy, thì là có cái phần cái đài Latvia là nó có cái phần chơi đĩa than. Thế là mình có cái ấn tượng đĩa than, mình bắt đầu mình được nghe từ đấy.
His addiction was due to his father's like for record collecting. But he now has hundreds of vinyl records, mainly from Europe and America. Some of the records date back a few decades. They are also rare to find today, such as records by Paul Moriarty, Black Sabbath, or Metallica. Lâm believes apart from digital music collectors, people who collect vinyl records often know about audio.
Cái đĩa than ấy là nó tái hiện âm thanh rất tốt. Cái đĩa than nếu mà bạn chơi đúng của nó thì bạn càng vặn to lên bạn càng thấy cái giá trị của âm nhạc. Ví dụ như là nghe đĩa than, bạn nghe một bản nhạc giao hưởng thì bạn đã thấy được cả cái dàn nhạc. Chỗ nào là bẻ violon 1, violon 2, chỗ nào là bẻ cello, chỗ nào là dàn bộ gõ, bộ đồng, bộ gỗ là bạn nghe được rõ ràng. Trong cái đĩa CD là bạn rất khó để đạt được cái điều đó. Cái cộng đồng đã chơi đĩa than là cộng đồng nghe nhạc khó tính rồi. Thường là những người chơi đĩa than ấy là họ đã xác định được cái gu chơi là một này, đã xác định được cái cách nghe của mình là hai này, và đã xác định được bạn chơi. Thì thường là cái cộng đồng chơi đĩa than là cộng đồng nghe nó nặng về tính học thuật hơn. Đấy, cái tính giải trí nó không còn nhiều nữa.
In recent times, records have attracted more young people. Nguyễn Anh Tuấn is one of a few young people who is cottoning on to this increasingly popular audio format in Hanoi. After work, he often spent time in a vinyl coffee shop and immersed himself in an analog world.
Lần đầu tiên mà đặt được cái kim xuống đế than để chơi, cảm giác rất là hạnh phúc, bởi vì có một cái gì đấy, có một thứ âm thanh gì đấy mà nó mê hoặc mình, mà đã rất lâu rồi mình tìm kiếm mà chưa thấy. Khi mình chơi nhạc số mình vẫn luôn trăn trở có một cái gì đấy ở nhạc số nó chưa truyền tải được cái gọi là cái nhạc tính của âm nhạc. Thì khi mà nghe đế than thì tôi có thể cảm nhận được cái nhạc tính của âm nhạc.
Record collecting is seen as a precious hobby. This is evident in the way collectors remove the vinyl from the protective sleeve, lay it down gently in the turntable, or repair the cartridge and stylus. For some professional audiophiles, how to choose a suitable stylus is the most concern.
Cái kim tết này, cái cartridge để nghe đĩa than này, bây giờ nó có hai cái loại định dạng tức là moving magnet, và định dạng MC moving coil. Đấy, về cái cầu kỳ, về cái chơi cái MC nó gọi là moving coil thì nó phức tạp hơn rất nhiều, và nó thích hợp để nghe các loại nhạc phối khí, nhạc cổ điển, nhạc thính phòng. Thế còn cái MC cái MM ấy là moving magnet ấy, nó ra đời trước cái MC thì nó lại thích hợp để nghe nhạc jazz, nhạc rock, đặc biệt là rock.
Some people are happy enough keeping their record collections to themselves. Some gather in a forum with both old and young people. No matter what music they play, they still enjoy their feeling of exclusivity.
Mình được nghe cái âm thanh thật nhất gọi là âm thanh analog thuần.
Nó phải có một cái tâm hồn thư thái, một cái phong cách thư thái,
giúp cho người ta có một cuộc sống chậm, một cái tư duy, người ta tiếp cận âm nhạc một cách nó thân thiện hơn.
Cái tiểu tiết nhỏ này thì nó phải tỉ mỉ và không thể làm ẩu được.
Đế than nó truyền tải một cách đơn giản nhất, mộc mạc nhất, tình cảm nhất, chân thực nhất về âm nhạc.
You are tuning into Culture Mosaic, a weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening in the country. We do hope to become the bridge connecting artists and the works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's installment coming for you in just a moment. Now, one of Israel's most successful female chefs and Iron Chef's permanent judges, Ruthie Russell, visited Vietnam earlier this week. Now, this is actually her second time in Vietnam as a food ambassador to bring the flavor of Israel to the local foodies. And our reporter Ngọc Lê caught up with her in Hanoi. Let's take a listen.
Chef Ruthie Russo is considered one of the most successful female chefs in Israel. She is highly popular on TV and social network, where she shares her passion for food and easy-to-follow recipes. Ruthie's is also the owner of a trendy juice brand. As one of Israel's culinary ambassadors, she has demonstrated the fine dining of her homeland around the world, including Vietnam in 2013. On this trip, she also explored the Vietnamese cuisine and gastronomy. Welcome back to Vietnam again, Ruthie, and thank you for joining us on the mic today.
Thank you for having me.
So how does it feel like to come back this time?
I was so excited because the first time I came here, I didn't know anything. But this time, I already knew how much I love the country. I told my husband and my kids, pack, you're coming with me. You have to see this place.
So for your kids, it must be very different, the food and everything, right?
Very different. Although my daughter, my younger one, she keeps saying, you know, I still don't feel like we're in Vietnam. I guess she feels at home. Since the last time I was here, I love the Vietnamese food so much that I make it at home too. So spring rolls is a common dinner for us. Like we make it a lot. We put a lot of condiments on the table, and we dip the rice paper, and everyone rolls their own spring rolls. We do it a lot.
But how about in your professional life? Did you apply some Vietnamese cooking philosophy in your food?
Because Vietnamese kitchen is very, very smart. For example, like the soup, they taught me like to put shallots and ginger to roast it in the oven before you put it in the soup. It's something I've never done before, but you get a lot of flavor going on. So now, for example, I published a recipe for the holiday for a chicken soup, and I called it a Polish Vietnamese chicken soup. Before that, I did a big feature about Asian soups. It was one of the most popular features I've ever written. Like everyone shared it on Facebook. So many people sent me pictures of the photo that I made. Like it became very, very viral.
Ruthie came back to Vietnam earlier this week to again bring the flavor of Israeli cuisine to the locals. This time, she made a live demonstration of one of Israel's favorite home recipes, pita bread and chickpea. Ruthie's fine cooking skills and her friendliness charmed the guests. They got to experience the excitement of making the first fluffy pita bread and trying the first Israeli dish.
Cái điều cảm nhận nhất là món ăn của Israel là gia vị nó rất là đậm, nó nồng lên. Cái như cái tỏi này nó là vẫn còn nguyên cái tỏi với nó, và cách trình bày nó rất là ngẫu hứng chứ nó không theo một cái tỷ lệ chính xác như kiểu của người Pháp.
Người ta thiên về những cái đồ ngũ cốc rồi là hạt rồi là các cái hương vị tự nhiên nhiều hơn, thay vì sử dụng màu mè hay là chế biến cầu kỳ.
Rất là ngon, mà cái hình thức, cái cách chế biến khi mà mình làm gọi là show kitchen ấy thì rất hấp dẫn. Ai nhìn vào cũng muốn thử.
Just in a few hours, the event successfully became a bridge to connect Vietnamese people to Israeli fine cuisine and culture.
So Ruthie, I'm very curious about your philosophy in food. What is food for you?
In the past few years, I've changed my approach towards food. At first, I thought food is all about good produce. Today, this is not how I see it, because a few years ago, I've been to Ethiopia. I was in a refugee camp, very, very poor area. And I went with one mother back to her home, and she lives not in a home, she lives in a mud house. We cook in like the worst utensils, worst conditions you can imagine, with really bad ingredients. And she makes the food, and at the end, and I look at it and I'm sure it's going to be a disaster, and at the end I try it and it's heaven. Why? It's so good. And then I realized it was a mother cooking for her children in order to nourish them. This amount of love and attention and caring in your food, I try to do that when I cook. I try to bring myself in, and then I know, like the pita bread, even if it doesn't rise, it will come out good, it will be tasty because I'm in there.
Well, but on the other hand, I heard that you are a very strict judge on Iron Chef Israel version.
Yes.
Why?
I'm very strict in general. Because I'm strict because I think having good intentions and caring about the food doesn't mean disrespecting it. And food must be treated with a lot of respect, which is something actually I see in Vietnam a lot. They want fast food and they want street food, but it's not junk food. It's good products put together. It's fresh products, not industrial, not big factory machines, robots making your food and you don't know what's in it. You know what's in it.
Oh, Israeli food for me, it's a big table. All kinds of salads, a lot of spices, a lot of colors, and simple food like meatballs.
For me, Israeli food is like the mix of all the Jewish cuisines. We are 64 years old country, and we have like so many types of Jewish cuisine that came from all over the world.
Israeli food for me is fresh and simple, not so complicated. Lots of lemon juice and garlic and tomatoes. It's a sunny cuisine, light, lots of olive oil. Who wants to start eating?
As a food ambassador, what is your next plan to promote Israeli food to the world?
First of all, my next tour is actually in North America. I'm going to bring Israeli food to Los Angeles, Chicago, Toronto, Miami, and New York. And hopefully, if an opportunity comes here, if someone wants to implant some Israeli ingredients or Israeli dishes in their menu, I would be delighted to help, assist, consult, whatever is needed. It would be such a great honor for me.
Thank you for your time and hope to see you again in Vietnam for the third time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, jazz has been listened to in Vietnam since the middle of the 20th century, and in this week Connecting Culture, we find out more about contemporary jazz in Vietnam and how European and Vietnamese jazz artists are inspiring each other.
It doesn't have to be a grand stage, and there aren't assigned seats. But it didn't stop the artist and the audience from enjoying the musicians riffing. For Nguyễn Cẩm Phương, a student from Military University of Cultures and Art, the freewheeling spirit of the artist touched her and inspired her to join the session, although she has only been learning saxophone for 6 months.
Đây là lần đầu tiên mình được tham gia chương ngẫu hứng như thế này thì cảm giác thì cũng có nhiều lắm. Thứ nhất là hồi hộp một chút này, nhưng mà về sau mình cũng có qua được cái giây phút đấy và hòa mình vào âm nhạc. Thì tiết mục này thì không có sự chuẩn bị trước ấy, thì mình thấy là các nghệ sĩ cũng truyền cảm hứng cho mình. Thì những cái gì mình đã học và những cái gì mình cảm nhận về âm nhạc thôi.
6 jazz artists from Germany, Poland, Italy and Vietnam took to the stage and improvised. Those listening were deeply impressed by the way the artists worked together and excited the crowd with beautiful melodies interspersed with intense piano solos and electric guitars and syncopated rhythms. The session kept the audience hanging on to every note.
This is the first time I've seen jazz outside of the UK, and listening to how European and Vietnamese musicians play together is really interesting. I really like the performance, hearing vocals used in jazz other than lyrics I haven't really heard before, and the saxophonist is really impressive.
Mình thấy chương trình nhạc jazz này rất là hay và thú vị. Khung cảnh và chương trình rất là mở, khiến cho mình, một trong những người mà không am hiểu lắm về nhạc jazz, cảm thấy rất là tự tin và có thể hòa đồng được với cái chương trình này. Mình rất thích nghệ sĩ trống. Tiếng trống khiến mình thấy thoải mái hơn và cảm thụ tốt hơn trong âm nhạc, đặc biệt là nhạc jazz.
Though it was not the first time they stood on the same stage, playing side by side with such talented jazz artists from Europe was an amazing experience for the Vietnamese artists.
Cái lần để mà chúng tôi có thể học hỏi và chia sẻ những cái kinh nghiệm và học hỏi về chuyên môn cũng như là cái cá tính của mỗi một con người chơi nhạc jazz, và cũng là cái lúc để mà đưa cái nhạc jazz của Việt Nam đến với thế giới, giới thiệu ra những các cái bạn bè ở những cái nước khác. Chúng tôi cũng có nhạc jazz. Các hôm nay thì rất là ngẫu hứng, chỉ đơn giản là lên sân khấu và nhìn nhau và tự hiểu nhau, ra hiệu rồi nói chuyện với nhau bằng âm nhạc.
For Michael Scaffell, who was repeatedly praised as an exceptional jazz player, jazz proved perfect means for each artist to express his own angle. An artist from different cultures can find a common voice.
This is the third time that I came to Vietnam for a concert. Now there's so many different countries and cultures involved, and this is great because they all have different mentalities and ways of communicating, and this all turns out great in the music.
The concert took place on the occasion of the European Days in Vietnam event, whether a jamming session or on a big stage. Foreign and Vietnamese artists also showed the power of the music to connect artists from different cultures and backgrounds as a driver of integration.
Now, these beautiful jazz melodies have just concluded this edition of Culture Mosaic. We welcome all of your comments and suggestions at culturemosaic@vtv.vn. You can also rewatch our programs online at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. So don't forget to join us next week for another edition of Culture Mosaic. This is Lenning, and goodbye for now.